Any more stragglers?
Yeah, I think I just got ready to be able to demo. So let's try this out. Sorry, it's gonna take me just a second to figure this out. Okay, so hopefully you're seeing my custom schema names IDE. Yeah, so this one might be slightly hard to explain, but I'll do my best. It all has to do with the DBT dynamic schema switching stuff. And what this feature is about is that a lot of times users of DBT will do things differently in dev versus prod with regards to how they like name their schemas. And you can do this with DBT, like custom macro that lets you have full control over how the schemas work. So everything I've demoed kind of up to this point is the vanilla DBT experience where you have schemas called like DBT underscore your username underscore some suffix. But what you can do is override that to like where you don't have DBT in the name at all. So in this case, I have a model in this sales schema. And this is a DBT one. So you can see it's like pulling in DBT information. So in my production DBT setup, I have sales and then I have this default name. So you can see there's like country codes, organic users, and then the sales model is in a different schema. I can't talk right now. But in development, everything is going into one schema. So there's just one development schema. And we've seen this with a few customers recently where they're doing this in development. Everything goes into one schema just to like not muddy up their warehouse with a bunch of schemas for each developer. And so what was happening before with the DBT virtualization stuff is in production, you would have Omni DBT and Omni DBT sales, but when you would switch to a branch, this DBT sales would disappear because there is no sales schema for your development experience. And the sales would move into Omni DBT, which would prevent you from working on the sales view in a branch and promoting it properly. And so that's basically just fixed now. So if you switch to a branch, this is now pointing to my development thing. And the structure is the same, even though, as I just said, my development schemas don't actually mimic this structure. Yeah, so that's it. If that didn't make sense to anybody, let me know. But yeah, I think that's it.
Do we feel like we're keying in on or how should I phrase this? Do we feel like we have a pretty good understanding of the flavors with which people build out their DBT model like approaches at this point? Or are we sort of like learning new ones over time?
You just mean like in terms of those options for vanilla DBT schema setup versus your custom
Exactly.
one?
Like, is there an enumerated list of all of these things, or is it like every single one is a unique like way of approaching how they're handling schemas and DBT and all of that kind of stuff?
So I would say from my own personal experience, as well as what we've seen so far with customers, although it's not a huge number of them that we've gotten feedback from, the majority of them are using the vanilla experience. And then when people reach for this customized behavior, the reasons seem to be one is just to get rid of the DBT prefix everywhere, or to get rid of the prefixing entirely and just have, you know, analytics schema and sales schema, e-commerce, whatever, without all this prefixing. And then the other use case is the development, like putting everything into one schema just to put it all in one spot in development. I haven't seen anything other than those two use cases for the customized schema thing.
Okay, that's good. Because then, yeah, we could just have flavors of the deployment, I guess.